today's video I will be talking about a very good M14 class setup, and for this class setup it will include the primary weapon, the secondary weapon, the perks, the lethal, and tactical. So let's get into the primary weapon. So for this I chose to use the Pursuit for the M14, and here are some attachments. The first, what I like to use is the lightweight set, and what I mean by this is the lightweight suppressor. The lightweight suppressor gives you a little bit more control and mobility. It helps you basically make your gun lighter. So yeah, that's my choice. The next, the barrel. For the barrel, I recommend using the FSS 14.5 tack light because once again it makes your mobility a little bit easier and you can peek corners better, so that's more light. And that's for the barrel. For the laser, personally I don't use one, but if you were to use a laser for like hip fire kills or close combat, I'd recommend using the tack laser. Next, we're gonna go on to optics. For this, I actually have two optics. First, the PBX Holo 7 sight. What I like about this sight is it can go far range and close combat. Next sight is the Scout Combat Optic. This is one of my favorite optics because one, it's not like some of the other big optics where like it'll take a second. This is good for long range and close range. And for the reticle, for this one I recommend using the cross dot, and then any camo you want. Next, the stock. I use the Sting Arms Invader because it has easier mobility and just makes your gun lighter. Next, perk. Personally, if you want to level up your gun, I recommend using Mo Money perk. But if you're playing a tough game in Warzone or like some of those long matches in hardcore or regular, I recommend using Heavy Hitter because your melee could help. Next, the rear grip. Personally, it doesn't matter, but if I were to choose one, I'd choose the stripped grip tape because it gives you more mobility. Next, for ammunition. For ammunition, I recommend the 60 round mags because once again, you have more rounds and you won't have to reload as much, or say you get into a gunfight with a bunch of people, you won't have to worry about reloading after 30 or something rounds. Next, if you were to do a different type of round, I'd recommend using the 4.58 Sorghum 10 round mags because this has a lot more damage and accuracy, a little bit more mobility, but it does have less bullets, so yeah. Next, for the foregrip, I recommend using operator foregrip because it's just really good because it gives you more control on your gun. And then for my other one, I recommend using 12 gauge W. Say your gun runs out of ammo and your melee is just a little bit too hard. This is good because it's basically just a shotgun. So next, let's get on to the secondary gun. I recommend using the revolvers. Really, any revolver works. The 35-7, and what I recommend is you should play hardcore to level up your gun. But what perk I recommend using for any pistol is the akimbo because once again you have more fire rate, more damage, and also for this I recommend using the muzzle brake. For the muzzle, I recommend using the tack long because it gives you more control, accuracy, and a little bit farther of a range. Next, I recommend using the tack laser because it gives you a little bit of a better quality laser than most. I wouldn't recommend using optics since you're going to be just using it too. So next, I recommend using the lightweight trigger because if you wanted, the fire rate is a little bit more faster, but the accuracy is a little bit lower, but other than that, it's good. Next, for perks, I'd recommend using double time. It gives you the crouch movement speed, so if you're trying to sneak into enemy territory and you want to be a little bit fast, that helps. I recommend using the ghost perk, undetectable, because you're undetectable at UAVs and radars, so that if somebody calls a UAV strike, you don't have to worry about getting hit. Amped. For my third perk, I recommend using Amped because it just gives you a faster weapon swap and the rocket launchers reload speed if you do use that. Next, for lethal, I recommend using the frag grenade or the thermite because say there's a room and you want to just like stick it to someone or something, that's what it's good for. Next, I recommend using the stem. This is the best thing to have because if you're in a gunfight with a couple guys and you want to stay alive and you're like critical health, all you have to do is just hold down L1 and you'll be back up to 100%. And that's basically it, and now I'm going to show you some gameplay.
Oh shit!
Infected! Do whatever it takes to survive.
Sorry about that, I selected the wrong game mode. Make sure to like and subscribe when you're done. So, yes, and also, have a good day. Be safe.
Team deathmatch. Enemy threats in the AO. Weapons hot. Grenade out!
That was for you. I'm with you. the office.
Friendly UAV overhead.
Ha! Gotcha, you fucker.
Enemy at the mine.
One mark killed in the head.
Be advised, friendly precision airstrike.
Enemy at the
Shit!
enemy at the train track.
Movement still in effect.
Enemy at the mine cart.
Friendly UAV overhead. Enemies halfway there, step it up. Enemy cruise missile incoming.
Enemy at the contact.
Enemy Wilson deployed.
Enemy at the contact. Enemy at the back alley.
Changing mags.
Enemy UAV overhead.
I got movement.
On the first deck.
Enemy at the mine carts.
Airstrike inbound. Friendly UAV overhead. We've lost the
Make sure to
objective.
like and
I
subscribe.
expect better.
Have a good day.